Hey, yet again, guys. It's your old pal Brothers. I'm coming at you with a new video of epic proportion and epic bullshit. I decided, since I saw some trailers, they started hyping up Final Fantasy 15. There's a release date for it, and you can pre-order it and all that jazz. And I decided to play their little demo. That's what you're gonna see here today. I am not happy. Okay. I'll give it. Okay. Let me be fair. It looks fun. Looks cool. Looks innovative. The soundtrack so far sounds beautiful. Look at these graphics. Just by this demo and the little piano in the background. It's beautiful. It's nice. But it just doesn't feel right. It looks like they're trying to revamp the combat system with something cool. You just basically it's like a alternate version of Kingdom Hearts if Sora had 4 weapons to select with each directional button, and you just put like a light attack weapon or a heavy attack weapon or a spell. But I guess that's fun, but this doesn't. First of all, the fact that a Final Fantasy game even has a demo is already kind of fucked up. I play a Final Fantasy game for a story, and there is not much story here, at least not much that makes any kind of sense. From what I've gathered so far, by the way, that's Carbuncle on the screen, in case you didn't know. It does at least make some interesting. Well, let's just hear this. You know, a little dialogue, shit going on in the background. And then I fucking wake up in a magical world with Carbuncle. This adorable little fennec fox creature. I've never seen Carbuncle look like this before. And it's cool and it's refreshing and all. But I just don't see this going well. So far, I haven't gotten to learn anything about any character. I just gotten to see a glimpse of the combat and the way the graphics might look, which I don't know what to say. Like, again, going back to what I like about Final Fantasy games, they're always very engaging. The storylines are cool, and the combat's refined, but always still similar. This still doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game. I think they could make turn-based combat fun if they did it right. Revamped it to be something innovative and cool again. I don't know how they do it, but that's because I don't work there. I wish that they'd hold on to that combat style. It really does feel like what a Final Fantasy game should be. I just think that they could revamp it and make it awesome. But also, what the fuck's up with this? Okay, I don't know what's going on, but it wants me to collect these diamond pieces of shit. Like, I feel like I'm playing a fucking platformer the whole time. I don't even know what purpose they serve. But, I mean, I fucking don't know. It does have some references to different bosses. I'm pretty sure that's, I actually don't have a clue. Tetsuya Nomura, in case you don't know, he's the character designer for this game. And he's been the character designer for other Final Fantasy games, but he's never been like the lead director. So he takes a very realistic look to all of his creatures. He has like a manga look, is the way I've heard it described, like a very Asian touch. But a very realistic one, not so much a fantasy touch so much, which is the impression I get from this. Everything just looks really realistic in a really realistic world. Again, that's what I think is bugging me about it as I played it, is a Final Fantasy game is supposed to open up opportunities to make a very unique world, and I just don't. This world just seems like a fucking metropolis. When, at least later on in the game, there's an area, you'll see I visit the city, but for the most part, I mean, I want to see more areas like this. I want the game to be mostly this. kind of world map, and I just don't know. I just don't have good feelings about it. You know, I had fun. You see, this is how you take it and you put your weapons on. Just fun. I like it. I just, you know, the Final Fantasy games have a very high standard to live up to, and I just don't feel like this is doing that. Like, look at this shit. What the fuck? And the camera angles are all kinds of fucked. You cannot get the camera to cooperate with you. As you can see, I'm literally fighting the camera. I'm assuming that, again, this is not the game or anything. This is a demo for the game, which is coming out in like half a year. So they've got plenty of time to smooth it all out, but hopefully, I'm hoping to God that the camera doesn't fight you the whole way, or I won't be able to enjoy it, even if I wanted to play it for just the combat. But it's pretty, it's fucking gorgeous, which is something I like. I haven't seen very many gorgeous PlayStation 4 games. Mostly just graphical enhancements of PlayStation 3 games that I've already fucking raped. So seeing like how beautiful that sun is and how it shines over the mountains, and this fucking, you're about to see Leviathan, if I'm not mistaken, rise up from the water. I almost missed it, but then the shadows, you know, tipped me off, and man, look how fucking gorgeous that looks. I like that. I hope that they do more like this. And keep this kind of fantasy element going. I like how you start off the game playing as a kid, and when I jump through this hole, I get to go into like my room. I mean, spoiler alert if you fucking don't want the demo spoiled for you. But, you know, it looks cool. But in a minute here, you're gonna see one of the things that the first major issue I had, other than the fact that the combat is kind of feels like Kingdom Hearts all over again, which Kingdom Hearts is fun. I like the combat. Kingdom Hearts I fucking love. But I mean, why can't this be Kingdom Hearts 3 and not Final Fantasy 15? Like, I mean, cool ripple effects and, you know, cool shit. Look how beautiful this house looks. Look how smooth the fur on little carbuncle here looks. And the fact that I'm standing in a fucking water dish. Like I said, I'm guessing that just this is a demo kind of made to show off the way the combat's gonna work and the way the graphics are gonna look. I'm guessing this has about zero to do with how the main story's gonna play out. I'm assuming I'm not gonna wake up out of fucking nowhere, Randy Savage style, jump in the fucking ocean, and wake up in a dog bowl. In the real game, at least not with a little bit of fucking heads up. But, you know, it's pretty. You know, it looks fun. The little particle effects on those fireworks are fucking cool. I don't get what the fucking deal with these collectibles and this standing on this shit does, though. I really, like, I'm so fucking confused. What is this shit? Like, tell me, guys, does this... are you excited about this? Like, I mean, I could see being excited for it, but this just doesn't feel like a fucking Final Fantasy game. Watch this. Okay, it says Noctis transform. Okay, I'm not driving the truck. I am the fucking truck. Now, this is my first major problem. What the fuck? Like, I'm gonna try and hit his ass. I can't run him over. I hope you can run him over in the real version of the game. But what the fuck? Why do I... Like, this is all... Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't defend this. What the fuck? And I just turned back into a fucking loser again. With fucking stupid hair. Like every other Final Fantasy character. But, like, what the fuck? Why do you turn into a fucking truck? I'm hoping that, obviously, it's just not gonna, like, assume that, oh yeah, you turn into a fucking truck, you don't know that? What kind of fucking planet do you come from? Can't turn into a fucking truck. Like, I'm assuming that they'll explain why you turn into a truck, and I'm assuming they're gonna have more reasons to turn into a truck than just to fucking be Optimus Prime. But, I don't fucking know. Again, this is a demo, and it's leaving me with a lot more questions and concerns than answers and hype. you can see I'm gonna do a little combat here. The game plays itself, John. The game's just playing itself. You can literally just hold circle and sit there and just switch between the two weapons. And I mean, I raped the circle button just out of reason, but this is so fucking. Look how boring this is. Like, this is gonna get old and fucking. In 10 hours, I'm gonna want to kill myself if this is what I have to. This is how the combat's gonna play out. Every fucking time I throw a firework, I switch up to my sword, I hold circle, and I fucking hammer it out. Like, this is fucking boring. Like, it's fun for a little while, but they seriously are gonna have to give me a lot more if I'm gonna be impressed by this. The fact that they are not going to make this like a real Final Fantasy game means they're gonna have to really step it up and make this innovative. I haven't been into a Final Fantasy game since 10. Alright, I have never played 11. I never wanted to play the online game. 12 is like a fucking atrocity from what I hear. It's nothing. Its combat is so fucked. Then, of course, 13 rolls around, and you know, I like 13, but again, it's fucked up in so many ways. You know, it's got the horrible fucking combat, and the fucking most linear shit, which I gotta give this credit for. It does have, it's very open. There's a lot to explore, but a very set goal, like you know where you need to go, but it opens it up for you to explore. That's good. The way that exploring so far has been is perfect. There's always a route you're supposed to go down, but it lets you wander off the path just enough to really get a glimpse of the scope of the world. I think that's really fucking cool. That's what Final Fantasy games do best, is feel more open than they actually are. They feel open enough that you can explore it, but not so open that you get overwhelmed and you lose track of where you're supposed to go. That's perfect. It got that down flawlessly. At least from the demo, what I can tell. But like I said, I mean, you've seen it here for yourself. What do you think? Do you think you can have fun fucking throwing a firework and swinging a hammer for fucking 40 hours, 60 hours? Fucking God knows, from what I assume, this game's going to be more open world than its predecessors. So you might end up having to put even more time into this one than any of the previous installments. And this combat is pretty fucking repetitive. Like, I hope that there's a lot more weapon variety. That will be what makes this game. If they can have good, purposeful weapon variety and employ elemental effects really well, I could see this being pretty fun, especially if I assume you get control over more than one party member at a time. I mean, it could be fun. So, I'm not completely, like, a lost cause for this game. I'll buy it, but I'm just not excited about it at all. I was excited after I got done playing. Like, for example, you know, I didn't really remember anything about the Final Fantasy games from my childhood, except that they were something my family bonded over. I only recently had played them, and didn't know much of anything about the plot line of any of the games, the PlayStation 1 particular Final Fantasy games. And I fucking was waiting for every moment. Like, the few dull moments that there were in the Final Fantasy games, you know, were very short-lived. And afterwards, I was rearing up for something else to fucking happen. And so far, at least from this demo, it just kind of seems like you go around, you fucking murder some guys. Little carbuncle here texts you with... He fucking texts you. I would like to explain... I would like that explained to me, why he's texting me on a fucking Android. Oh, like, oh my god. You know, I just don't know. Again, you can see here, you know, this is, you know, a city. You know, it's not very fantasy-esque, you know. It's not even like a steampunk city or anything like that. This just looks like fucking London. Like, not that I know what London looks like, but still, this doesn't really feel quite like what I'm expecting. You know, I just really like the fantasy elements of a Final Fantasy game. I don't like the... Whoa, what the fuck? Well, that was a graphical glitch. Ignore that, everybody. But, you know, this is cool and beautiful, all that good stuff. But, again, come on, man. This just isn't... Which I guess that's been way too hard. This is a fucking demo. Let me just point that out again. This is a demo. I don't know what to expect or what's gonna stick. But, wait, what do you see? Wait a minute. Watch this. The fuck am I? Okay? I'm a giraffe stag fuckface that can't attack for shit. Like, I don't even know why they bother letting you attack. It's the most bullshit thing. I can't even fucking, like, barely hit if I want to. And then I have to do this long animation if I miss, and I gotta sit through it. Whatever the fuck this is, I hope this is not what... This is not in the final game. At least not like this. This makes no fucking sense. Like... Like, why show this in the demo? Like, why? What is the point of this? What fucking sense does this make? Like, if I'm literally just gonna get thrown into being a Stegosaurus Giraffefuckus, I'm gonna be really upset. Like, I want some backstory to this. If you're gonna do something, fucking explain why you're gonna do it to me. Please, God, tell me they're gonna actually have a story to this game. Tell me that this is not like what I'm just gonna get this as my story, because then I will not be buying it. I can promise you. No, that's pretty fucking cool. But just what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck? Like, this is the thing. This isn't very revolutionary. Okay, what I've seen here today is not going to shape the face of gaming. It's not going to be a console seller for the PlayStation 4. It's just kind of there. You know, Final Fantasy VII is the best, like the second best selling game on the PlayStation 1. It showed what the capabilities of the PlayStation are, like how awesome it could be, how fucking cool everything could look, which is admittedly shitty by today's standards, but still, you know, it had a revolutionary combat system. What the fuck? See, I just turned into a fucking alligator. Wingosaurus fuckface. Like, what the... Anyway, you know, it had an interesting combat system. No one had ever thought of a turn-based RPG where you literally level up your magic as equipment and equip that equipment onto whoever you want at will. That's really cool. That's innovative. Even Final Fantasy VIII's combat is really innovative, even though it has its flaws, obviously. It's very easy to become completely overpowered, but not, you know, the way it's designed, is really what's at fault. It's not the combat system itself, it's the way it was, balanced, you know. And the fact that it discourages the use of magic is a problem, you know. You're not going to really want to use any of your good spells because you got it junctioned onto your character stats. You know, it's got its faults, but it's still innovative, it's still fun, I can appreciate it for that. And then Final Fantasy IX goes back to kind of a classic RPG with, you know, equipment being what you mainly use, but your equipment teaches you abilities. You know, that's really cool. Not a lot of fucking RPGs do that. And then you have a choice of how many abilities you can use. It's not like you can just have the ability. You have to make choices. You have to strategize. Do I want to put on the antibody perk so I can't get poisoned during this fight? Or what if this enemy knows how to confuse me, but I don't have enough ability points without having to give up Beast Killer so that I can do more damage? You know, you make choices and you strategize. This is fucking none of that. There's no strategy in this. You just go around hitting people with hammers and swords with the most fucked up camera angle I've ever seen. There's nothing innovative about that. I've seen this before. It's like I said, it's like Kingdom Hearts. I've seen this before. And then, you know, all of those Final Fantasy games have awesome stories in their own ways. Characters, even though people hate Squall, I like him, like I've said before in other videos, but even he has much... I mean, I'm sure even people who criticize his character would admit he has got way more character than this kid so far. Like, I mean, again, demo. I'm assuming this isn't going to be how it goes. But the fact that all these people just look like punk Japanese rock stars, with the same basic color palette for their clothes and stuff. Like, there's nothing that makes them stand out, really. As far as characters go, I already feel like that's gonna be a problem. But who knows? Maybe they'll all be interesting. Oh shit! Oh fucking. Now that made me really sad. That was depressing. I did not like that. Upset me a little bit. That made me pissed at this thing. That was pretty upsetting. And this is pretty adorable.
Wow.
I mean, I can't deny what a great reaction. Wow.
But remember not, in the world of your dreams, you are king.
Fair enough. So I just, I'm not afraid. And now I'm fucking good. Okay, again, what sense does this make? Like, okay, you're dreaming, cool. You know, that is the most lame excuse I've ever heard for, like, justifying shit. I'm in a dream. And now, look, the combat gets a little bit better, you know, more Kingdom Hearts-esque, jumping and fucking attacking with real weapons now. But then, right after this, the demo is gonna end. Right after I kick this guy's ass. So, again, you know, a dream, you know, that's the most fucking shitty excuse for why you can do shit. It's like every fucking game makes that excuse, you know, except Final Fantasy games. The only time when I can think of dreaming being a big thing is with Cloud, but he enters a dream to resolve his inner conflicts, which makes sense. He's literally lost his fucking mind. Spoiler alert, I should say. You know, he's solving his inner demons by battling them in his own mind. That makes sense. It's not like it's a fucking cop-out that he makes. Where he's like, you know, oh, I'm fucking dreaming, and because I'm dreaming, I look at what I can do. He's just having some plot resolution. Like, what the fuck? Why does a dream justify me becoming a man at will? Talking to a fucking fennec named Carbuncle that doesn't even quite look like Carbuncle at all. When I saw that little thing on his head, it finally occurred to me that that's who he had to be, because not that anybody who watches this video even likes Final Fantasy, more than likely. I.e. my one friend Jacob knows, but that's what, it's a fucking summon in the Final Fantasy games, a reoccurring thing, you know, it uses Ruby Light, which usually casts Reflect on your team, but this time it doesn't, because it's Final Fantasy 15 trying to be different. Oh, look at that, a fucking Mercedes. Have you ever, you know, when you play a fantasy game, there is nothing like driving a fucking Mercedes, man. It's your dad's fucking Mercedes. Yeah, that is the exact thing I'm looking for in a Final Fantasy game. Driving a fucking car. Not even like a cool car, a fucking regular car. Where's my airship? Where's my fucking dune buggy from Final Fantasy VII? Oh, he didn't do anything. You're the one who's dreaming like a fucking loser. Bye-bye, you adorable little fuck. Oh, I mean, they have to make a plushie out of that.
I remember your name now.
Oh, do you? I remembered it for you. Now, if you could, the screen actually says Carbuncle, and you actually get to name it. Oh, there you go. You know, never mind. You completed the Platinum demo. However, that's a fragmented dreamscape of which to go. Join a grown-up Noctis and his fucking buddies on a journey across a fucking open world from all of the Final Fantasy 15 fuckers. Can't wait to see you. Yeah, see you. Oh, look at that little chocobo emoji. You're so cool. Would you like to order Final Fantasy 15? No. Anyway, guys, that's all my time for today. I just wanted to show this to you guys. What do you think? Do you like this game so far from what you see of it, or do you hate it? I'll leave it up to you guys. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. I'd like to see what your opinions are, and can't wait.